today. From U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, it's Week 18 of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Chicago Bears.
Get strapped in. It's just about time to get the party started. And we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. Now the Iowa State product, it's Kene Nwangwu. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. To throw on second down. Franklin forced out to his left. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
Kind of an odd schedule this year. These two teams getting their 2 games in very late in the season. Their first meeting just a few weeks ago, back in Week 15. And it was the Vikings who won that one on the road, so they'll look for the sweep here in Minneapolis.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there, second down.
This defense for the Bears, they were terrific a week ago in that victory over Tampa Bay, Charles.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
They'll get only 3 there, so it leaves them with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Back to throw. Franklin looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Smith.
And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down. Looking to throw. Franklin. Throw left side complete. That's Roth.
And he will have a Vikings first down, and he was able to get it by plenty. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3.
Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. It makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
On second down, here's Nwangwu.
And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. A couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30.
Bilal Nichols able to take him down. It's a loss of 3. He seemed to have a reasonable amount of time in the pocket, but he couldn't get rid of the football, and the end result, Charles, him on the ground.
Yeah, he's got to keep an internal clock to go along with his offensive line. When you're talking about 3, 4, 5 seconds, That's a reasonable amount of time to expect to deliver the ball downfield. So great to try and complete a pass. But it's equally important to know when to throw the football away, too.
And it is incomplete. I had a defender running right with him. And now it's third down.
He's going to let it go again.
A high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete.
And this one is right down the middle. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. Even though they didn't find the end zone, they have to be pretty pleased with how they moved the ball on the ground because we know that that was one of their big goals in this game.
And that really goes through the entire offense because when you're running the ball effectively, just about everyone's involved. It's not just the guy carrying the football. It's everyone blocking for him, both inside and on the perimeter.
On play action, Fields.
Throwing left side, it's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
And as a quarterback, you always want to exploit gaps in the defense, and he finds one here. Crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction, it is awfully hard for them to pivot back, and you end up getting the first down.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
These two teams, you may remember, they met in Minnesota earlier in the year with the Vikings coming out victorious. So if they can win here in Minnesota, they get a sweep of the season series.
A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. You mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle. And that's well executed there on third down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
3-0 after one on EA Sports.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Here's Fields. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Fields now to throw.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
On the carry, it's Montgomery. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. That's going to bring up 4th down. Only a gain of 2 there.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
So matching field goals on our opening 2 drives.
Yeah, it feels like 2 boxers feeling each other out here in the early going of the game, right? Exchanging some jabs, but none of the heavy stuff just yet.
And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Vikings taking the field here for their second drive of the game. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Give them a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Offensively lucky they're able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
Call that a 46-yard punt with a net of 40 on the 6-yard return. And the Bears take over. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Montgomery. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down.
A big hole there. How about him handling the point of attack? Just positioning himself so that run could go right off of his backside and deep into the secondary.
They'll run on 1st down. Robertson. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Now a give running right is Montgomery.
And he'll be taken down after a gain of about 8, as that will lead us to the 2-minute warning.
8 yards on the run, and that cuts us down to a 3rd and about 5. We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
And he will have the Bears 1st down as he's able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 5. Out of the gun, Fields. Over the middle, and that's caught by Kmet.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal.
Throwing again is Fields.
Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal.
Now it's Fields.
Toward the pylon, caught. And he is out of bounds here. A gain of 5, but not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal. And his kick here is good. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals at 6-3.
So 3 points on the board, as easy a field goal as you're going to get, but I can see you shaking your head.
I love that peripheral vision of yours, partner, because to me, if it's the 4th quarter and you're up 6, I get it. But now, even if you run and don't get in, you're still setting them up to go a long field, 98, 99-yard drive. How do you look at your defense and not give them that opportunity?
The Vikings going to take over now late in this first half. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range.
They go play action here on first down. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Ed Oliver able to collapse the pocket, get to him, and drop him for a loss of a yard.
He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure. And these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. On first down, Franklin. He's going to loft one deep left side here. A fight for it, and this is caught. It's caught indeed. And with 1 second left, they get the timeout, and they'll have a chance to kick the field goal before intermission. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will do it for this first half. So we now proceed to the start of the second half. All even through one half of football as we get back underway in quarter number 3.
And he will not bring it out. It's a touchback. The Bears offense set to go to begin the third quarter. It's a tied football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think that they probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate that this is a tie game. No need to panic, no need to change a whole lot. We didn't play anything close to our best in the first half, so we don't have to go out and win one for the Gipper. Let's just go out and play our best football and win one for us.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
Here's Fields.
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
We are seeing two really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
Throw right side, caught by Goddard, the tight end. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. Here's Matt Hawk now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. That'll be a 44-yard boot, just a yard on the return as he's covered up quickly. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. Well, as a lineman, they are trained. You've got to stay close to home. If you're more than a yard downfield, they're going to toss that flag, and they did there. Play action. Franklin. He'll buy some time right. Here's Booker on the catch. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
And time to give some credit to the big fellows, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes, because you've got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time, able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Back to throw. Franklin. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. This will be kicked from the 42. It's a 52-yard attempt. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And they take the lead here as it's now 9-6. All 9 points for him coming via the field goal, and this last one puts him out in front.
All the field goals are great, but you know I'm going to get pessimistic here, right? Because you've got to score touchdowns to win games in the NFL. I just wonder if all these field goals, great now, or if they'll come back and haunt them later on.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
That catch good for only a couple.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Just a couple on the ground there. That's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
A shotgun snap, Fields.
He finds his man, complete. It's Robertson, and he'll be out of bounds right at the 40.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going.
A good rally to the football keeps him to only a yard, and it's 2nd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Fields. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Monty Rice. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
Well, he had to fit that into a pretty tight window over the middle. And, Charles, I think they were in zone defensively, weren't they?
They certainly were. Nice read on your part. And sometimes the quarterback isn't fooled between zone and man. Sometimes just fooled by the type of zone that he sees. Because oftentimes those linebackers will vacate and run downfield with receivers. In this case, he played a pure zone and was in the wrong spot for the QB.
Off the play fake. Franklin eluding the pressure right. Looking for the end zone. That's caught. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the interception by the Vikings D leads to a touchdown.
Extra point by Sly is up and good.
And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line.
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back.
Montgomery just unable to twist free as they hit him short of the line to gain.
Here's Matt Hawk now as he'll punt it away for the second time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Call it an even 40-yard punt, 7 though on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. He's been pretty solid, pretty consistent, just the one touchdown pass, but I think he's managed the game well, no?
I would agree with you, and that's what you're looking for out of your field leader, making sure that you're playing well and not making any big mistakes. Oftentimes, that's how you're judged. How big a mistake and when it occurs. No interception so far. They'll like that.
I just want you to know that you agreeing with me, that's going to get me through this third and fourth quarter. Are you touched? He's patting his heart, boys and girls. He's touched.
Respect.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Flushed out right. On the run. He'll let this go deep right side. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need.
Picked up by Andre Cisco. And the Bears are right back in this football game. They exited the pocket trying to improvise. That was a tough throw, and unfortunately, it wound up in the wrong pair of hands.
And, Brandon, when you're on the run, sometimes your downfield vision can get skewed just a bit. Now, the beauty of extending a play is sometimes your receivers find their way open, but oftentimes you end up closing down part of the field and bringing those defenders to the ball. And that one was picked off.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Now Fields.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it. This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown.
Fields throw complete here to Kmet.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a 1-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
They'll come up now on 2nd and a yard.
Offensive line wasn't set. There's the flag, and 5 yards back they go.
Quarterback has to look around and make sure that his team is ready to go. Sometimes the quarterbacks go faster than is necessary.
A bad false start penalty there. Now 2nd and 6.
To the air again, Fields.
Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Throwing on third down. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Maurice Hurst in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to fourth down. They snap it to Fields. And that is incomplete, but there is a flag. And on fourth down, this is a big call. So pass interference, the call there. Always, obviously, Charles, such a subjective call. You agree with the penalty?
Well, from where we're standing right now, I think the officials are tightening things up here in the second half. Maybe a defender gets away with that in the first, but this time the flag comes out, and I think it's a good call.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked out before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. Fields. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. That catch good for 5. It's third down. Back to throw. Fields. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Another good drive, Charles, but it looks like another that might end in a field goal try.
They've made some nice plays. They've given themselves opportunities, but as you noted, another field goal attempt coming up. And that's not how they want to end drives. They've got to figure out what's the final touch that they need to push it across the goal line.
Yeah, still yet to find the end zone. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Able to shake free for about 7 up to the 35. The battle in the trenches never more important than right now. This is 3rd and inches. Looking to throw. Franklin. And he's got Booker. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They're looking at a 4th down now as they try to hold on to this lead for dear life. And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the first. And quickly, we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They run the counter. Grove. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down.
Back to throw. Franklin. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. A seismic shift in momentum here in the fourth quarter. That's the break that the defense needed.
And you know as well as I do, people are going to question the play call in that situation. Sometimes you have to question the execution, not necessarily the call. And in this case, those defenders found a way to give their team a chance.
Meanwhile, the throw here is complete. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. He'll look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it. And that'll fall incomplete.
I'll tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. They'll look to throw. Well, that one sailed a bit, but the catch is still made.
And he will have the Bears first down, and he's going to have it by plenty. Able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 2.
There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. And he's got his man on the out route. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Back to throw. This is caught.
And the Bears are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
And it'll be intercepted.
Picked off by Monty Rice. And the Vikings have just about sewn up this football game. This defense, Charles, coming up with another interception. They have really done an excellent job of locking up these receivers.
Yeah, they're really on fire. They are actually doing what they talk about all the time, which is plastering to receivers when they're in their zones. They didn't give up a touchdown in the first half. Haven't done so here in this half either. Blanketed the field going all the way back to the opening drive, and they come up with a pick right there.
Now, after the running play, we've got a man down on the field.
There's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Sliding out of the pocket. Well, it's caught on the right side at Smith. And now they're in the hurry-up. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Franklin. He's going to loft one. Deep left side here. A leap, and he's got it. He got it. Throwing on 1st down. Franklin. He's going to take another shot here. And incomplete on the deep ball. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea of what they wanted to accomplish, just love the execution, love the tenacity.